What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. This is the Madison League Cup round number 5. Yeah, it's round number 5. And on top we have Scott Mottern playing his Mega Gardevoir deck, and on the bottom we once again have Alex Hill playing his Vespiquen list. Now, I decided to put this game on here because it seems like a very interesting matchup. Vespiquen versus Mega Gardy. How does this matchup play out? Because Mega Gardy can constantly just keep healing the damage off your Pokemon, all that good stuff. You know, Vespiquen can't really one-shot a Mega Gardy. It needs a ton of Pokemon in the discard pile, and I wonder how this is going to play out. That's the big question. What happens in this matchup? A deck that can constantly heal itself versus a deck that just puts a lot of damage out. So we're seeing what's going to happen, and guys, if you don't know, make sure you check out the Next Level games. They're the one who helped me bring this, or who had the top-down view and let me use it to record these videos. So big shout out to them. Make sure you check out their website and check out their bulk, not bulk, I say bulk again, but their singles, their packs and stuff like that. Go support the Next Level games. Fantastic shop for sure. And we're gonna see what's. Oh, let's see. Can we see what Alex Hill's messages say? Can we get some juicy gossip while we wait? Looks like we're not gonna get anything though. All right, so we're gonna wait here for a second and see what's gonna happen. All right, so oh, there's a handshake. I think maybe. All right, there we go. All right, so here we go, guys. And Scott's gonna start Rattata, and Alex is gonna start Blitzel. Seeing the startup from both players is very funny. You're like, what is going on here? But as soon as Scott drops a Gardy, you know what deck it is now. So Gardy come down with a Spearlink. Let's see what Scott decides to do here. Does he have a Hoopa? And yes, he does have a Hoopa. Going to use his Gun Ring and search for 3 EX Pokemon. There's the Gardy. Let's see what else does he find. Does he find a Shaman? Nope, a Gardy. Okay. And will we see another Gardy or a Shaman come down? We see a Shaman EX come down instead. Both Gardy players had all 4 cards. I've just now noticed this. Noah had all 4. And now Scott's on there with all 4. What is going on here? The Gardy players, do they have just a ton of money? I guess so. So let's see what Scott decides to do. He has a Shaman. Going to set it for just 2, it seems like. So yeah, 2 cards going to his hand. Does he find an Energy? There's a Mega Turbo. Energy's to the bench. Gardy, okay. He has a Lysander in. We might see a pass on the Alex turn. Alright, so Alex gonna drop a Combi. And like before, Alex plays so lightning fast. There's a in, Forest Giant Plans, Lightning, and a Floatstone onto the active. Getting ready for that Crashing Bolt, which could put some pressure on. I don't think. Can the Blitzel actually attack? Is it a Lightning or a Colors? That's the real question right now. I don't know what Blitzel's attack. Is it Reckless Charge? No, it's not Reckless Charge. It's not. I know, it's just a Lightning. Okay, so he can't attack with the Blitzel. So, I think Alex just played it just to thin his deck out to draw some more cards. So, we see a Trubbish. We see Klefki. Now, Klefki is going to be the main key. Klefki is going to be the main key here. Klefki can make your Megas cannot hurt you. But Scott does play the Rattata. Rattata can bop the tool off the active, and then, you know, Scott can then knock it out. Which is why this matchup is so interesting. It has so many different, different components that can happen. If XYZ happens, then XYZ happens. The Guardians players play Rattata to get rid of Klefki. There's Klefki, Trubbish, and a Shaman set up for 6 new cards. We see a Blitzel, another Trubbish. Scott's going to read that Klefki and not be a fan of that. We see Unknown Farewell Letter. And I wonder if Alex would decide to retreat this turn. Now, he could put down a Combi. He could retreat in Klefki. Or he could retreat to Combi and just pass. Both players seem fine. Or he could just leave the Blitz on the X spot and let it get hit for a knockout as well. I wonder what he'll decide to do. Doesn't really care too much about DCs. He does play 2 of those. But I think he would rather conserve these DCs as much as he can. So let's see retreat into Combi. And let's see pass on Scott's turn. Alright, so on Scott's turn, can he find a Mega Gardevoir? An Escape Rope. He has 3 Mega Turbos in his hand with a Via Sigger Fair Drop and a Sycamore. And I think we'll see Sycamore. He's going to discard his hand, draw 70 cards, and there's 3 Mega Turbos in there. Oh, man. Alright, so Scott's going to set up, get 7 new cards. He finds an Ultra Ball. He's got some other stuff as well. He's got a Dragonite, but there's no Skyfield in play right now. Yeah, no Skyfield in play, so he cannot put down another Pokemon, and I think that's going to be the end of Scott's turn. He can't use Shaman, he can't Hoopa, he can't do anything really. All he can do is Mega Evolve. Now, if I'm Scott, if you're gonna Mega Evolve right now, I might Mega Evolve the Guardy without the link, because you're gonna enter your turn regardless. You're not gonna do anything else. But it looks like he will evolve the one with the link, and we're gonna see a pass. Now, see, he could have just Mega Evolved the one without the link, and just ended his turn that way. We see a signal from Alex discarding a Combi, a Shrubbish, Special Charge, Vespiquen, and a Blitzel. Okay. We see a Zebstrika coming down. We see a Garbodor. We see an Acrobikes. We see a bunch of stuff. And wonder how Alex is going to play this turn out. Is he going to try to go for a Crashing Bolt to put some damage on a Guardy? But if he does that, just gets knocked out. I mean, we'll see pass on to Scott's turn instead. And there's Scott. He top deck a Forest Skyfield. Get rid of that Forest Giant Plants. And now Scott can do his Guardy stuff. Alright, so we're going to see a Vespiquen. Oh, an Escape Rope first. Alright, so Escape Rope. Let's just go switch out Combis. Doesn't really matter. They're literally the same thing. We see Scott play a Vespiquen for a second. Oh, an in. Alright. So Scott must have a card in his hand that he did not want to discard. But both players are going to shuffle up. Going to get 6 new cards. Neither one has taken a knockout. Both of them have kind of just sitting here, which is kind of what happens in the early game with Vespiquen regardless. Like, you really can't take a knockout unless you use a Crashing Bolt with these Zebstrika to knock out Shamans or something crazy like that. But both players are going to set up, get 6 new cards in their hand. Alex does find multiple DCs, but there's not too many Pokemon in his discard pile. We see a Fadergy go into the active, which means Scott can Despair Ray to get rid of that Shaman and make it where Alex cannot license her up with a Zebstrika play. So it looks like we'll see a Despair Ray knock out the active. Alex can promote the Zebstrika. And time to see what happens. There's an Acrobike, Flowstone. Okay, so Flowstone being discarded. He's got a Lysander. He got a Lysander with a bench and smack it. Just make it where Scott can't retreat. He's already played 1 Escape Rope, and most of us play like 2 or 3. So we're gonna see teammates. Oh no, an Ultra Ball. Sorry, I just assumed teammates goes do a search in his deck, but it's an Ultra Ball for a unknown. Okay. Looks like we might see an unknown. Yep, gonna grab the unknown. All right. Alex can Feral Letter, but there's no way he has enough Pokemon in this discard pile. We see a DC, and both players are gonna shuffle up and get 6 new cards. But I wonder how much damage Alex is doing right now. With Vespiquen, because if he can 2-shot this Guardy, I might go that route, or you just Crashing Bolt, just to put some damage on the active. So both players are going to shuffle up. You're going to get 6. Scott's going to get 5 now because he took a knockout, but there's a DC, some other stuff. We're going to see a Klefki, 1 unlock the Vespiquen. We're going to see Retreat, and he is going to be Revenge. And how much is this going to do? I'm not sure. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70? I think it's 70 being dealt to the active. That's what it looks like to me. Acrobite discarding a Zebstrika. He hasn't. Oh, he hasn't attacked just yet. Floatstone. He's going to look through his discard pile. He could Floatstone the Garb, and that's what he's going to do. Okay. Now, putting the Floatstone the Garb makes it where you can't use your Klefki anymore, unfortunately. Alright, so 100 damage to the active. Let's see what Scott does here. He cannot use abilities anymore. He can't use, the Dragonite. He can't use Rattata. He can't use a Hawlucha. But we see a Lysander bring up the Garb. Scott will take a knockout, but when this happens, Alex can then respond with a knockout going down to 4, and both players will be tied up. Oh man, so Lysander being in Scott's hand is very unfortunate for Alex. Alright, so see a knockout going down to 5. Alright. No, go down to 4, sorry. And on Alex's turn, he can do 120 now, because 130 now, actually. So Vespiquen, DCE, Vespiquen for a N. Yep, both players are going to shuffle up, and maybe Scott can't find another Guardy. He already discarded 3 Mega Turbos, and I doubt he plays a 4th one. Most lists plays 2 or 3. And playing the fourth one would be crazy insane. I mean, I highly doubt he plays 4s, yeah, Mega Turbos. He probably just plays a 3, which is fine. Like, that's a fine count for sure. So, let's see. Alex can get 6 new cards. Alright. He can't use Klefki anymore, unfortunately. Oh, no, he can use Klefki now, because Klefki, the Garb is knocked out. So, yeah, Klefki could make an appearance if Alex can find a way to get it back into play. But if he Super Odds, he can't take a knockout. So, we'll see a B Revenge going down to 4 prize cards. And on Scott's turn, going to promote that Guardy. And does Scott find a way to deck a knockout? He has a Fairy to the bench. And we're just going to see a Mega Evolve. He has nothing else, really. I think I see 2 Fairies, a Mega Guardy, and a Switch. And he's just going to pass. Alright, interesting. Maybe he wants to use Guardy's first attack? Maybe that's what he's trying to contemplate right now. I think it is Link Blast. 20 plus 60? Or 30 plus 60? I can't remember exactly. Oh, I gotta look up what Link Blast does now. Because it's a Link Blast for sure. And I don't know if that's what Scott's trying to go for, or if he just forgets that he can't Mega Evolve. Alright, so see a B Ridge for 130. Okay. On Scott's turn, going to draw a card. He has a Fairy drop, which doesn't affect the active. Because he has no Fairy Digis on it. It doesn't heal Fairy Pokemon. He heals Pokemon with Fairy Digis on it. So you see a switch into the Guardy. We see energy on the active. And we'll see a Link Blast. And it does do enough to knock out the actives. I'm looking up right now trying to do. It does 30 plus 70 if there's the same amount of energy attached to both that Pokemon. But now Alex can do 150 currently with his Vespiquen. Okay. And he has Sycamore. Oh, man. He could take a knockout right now. He's going to Super Run. Maybe put some Klefkis back in there. But his hand is full of Pokemon. So Klefki. Super Run. Shelf back in. Some Klefkis, most likely. Yeah, I think you shuffle Klefkis in your deck. Or maybe no. You only need 1 turn of Klefki, right? Because Klefki can just protect your Vespiquen. Make it where it can't be knocked out. Unless Scott draws like a Link, Energy, Turbo, Rattata, some combo, with 2 Combis and a Klefki going to Alex's deck. Okay. And let's see what's going to happen. Can Scott find a way to get out of this? Right now his hand is terrible, so that's not good for you, obviously. But we'll see a Vespiquen for a Sycamore or a, oh no, Lysander. Bring up the Guardy with the 130, and he's going to take a knockout. Going to link the Vespiquen. And just Crashing Bolt for the knockout, okay? There we go. So on Scott's turn, I'm going to draw a card. And does Scott find a card or not? I don't know what that one card is. It looks like a Dragonite, maybe? I can't tell, really. If it is a Dragonite, he's in really good shape. Because if he could bring up this Vespiquen, pop the Klefki off, he'll be in a really dominant position, but he'll have to find a bunch of stuff. He'll have to find a Mega, he'll have to find a Link, he'll have to find a Lysander, while not using Rattata until after you find a Lysander. This is a lot to do to knock out this Vespiquen. But if Scott can pull it off, he might have won himself the game. I think. I'm not sure though. Yeah, I think if he knocks out the Vespiquen, he probably secures in the game. Because all he has to do is Lysander Shaman for the game the following turn. Also, what Scott could do is knock out the active, and then Lysander Shaman to win the game as well. But he's trying to decide what to do. His hand is really full, so he really can't use Shaman right now. I think Shaman maybe get him 3, maybe 2. I don't know exactly as well. So he's gonna look through his Discopel. he's eyeballing, his Dragonite, just trying to see what he wants to pull up. Yeah, he's got the Dragonite, he's got a Mega Guard in his hand, but he needs a Link. That's the key component. Can he find this Link? He's gonna look through his hand one more time. I mean, it has not changed. It's 2 Fairy Job, a Dragonite, and a Mega Guardy. So if you're Scott, I think you pull up, grab a Hoopa, and a Shaman, maybe? Okay, alright, so there's a Dragonite. He's trying to decide what to do. He's like, what do I do with this Dragonite? What 2 cards do I get? So Dragonite, He can also only get one if he wants to. It's a may. You don't have to grab two. I think it's you may, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm wrong. But we'll see Dragonite finally coming down. Get 82 cards out of Discard Pile. And I think you grab the Rattata and the Shaman. Looks like that's what he's gonna do. I don't know if that's correct or not. Alright, so Rattata and Shaman. Can Scott find a Lysander Spirit Link with the Shaman? Because he's going to Shaman and he can't draw. I don't think he can draw anything right now. Faded you to the Dragonite. Okay. We'll see Rattata discard the tool off the active. And a Shaman set up for 3. Huh. And there's a Lysander. Oh, man. If he had held the Rattata, he could have Lysander the Vespiquen. But he still has the Lysander, so he could Lysander the Vespiquen for a knockout. Because he has a Lysander in his hand. It does take a knockout. It does 70 plus 30. So he can take a knockout on the Vespiquen no matter what. He has a Lysander in his hand. So will he Lysander that Vespiquen or not is my question. Why would you not, right? Looks like we see another Dragonite coming down, grabbing Hoopa and Shaman. Okay. Yeah, I think you definitely Lysander his Vespiquen and Link Blast for a knockout. Because they both have 2 energies. And so yeah, if you're Scott here, I think you Lysander this Vespiquen, take a knockout, go down to 2 price cards, and then all you have to do is knock out the Shaman. And he's going to Shaman set up for 2. I wonder what he's digging for. Skyfield, alright. There's the Lysander, he can bring up the Vespiquen, take a knockout. And Alex doesn't really have a way to retaliate right now, unless, okay, there's a Hoopa, okay, gonna Scoundering, search for 1 Pokemon. And I wonder what he's going to decide to get. Let's see, grab a Shaman, okay. I'm just waiting to see, will he go for his Link Blast or not? Yeah, they both have 2 energies attached to them. Like Link Blast says, if this Pokemon and your opponent's active Pokemon have the same amount of energy attached to them, it's active 70 more, with a base of 30. Alright, so he put another Shaman in his hand. Just license the Vespiquen, and I think you win the game if you license Vespiquen right now. So, Shaman for 1. Okay. And does he license the Vespiquen or not? He's going to look through Alex's discard pile one more time just to make sure he knows what the correct play is. But let's see, does Scott do this or not? He has a license. There we go. So, license up the Vespiquen. And he'll Link Blast for the knockout. He's going to make sure it only affects Megas if it protected EXs, that'd be broken. So Scott will go down to 2 price cards, okay? But there's a license to break up Shaman and he'll win the game. Scott played, I don't know, either ways, Alex had it, like he had the license to break up Shaman regardless and win the game. Scott would have put down 1 Shaman no matter what. He didn't have the license in her hand. He had to dig for it the first turn with the first Shaman, and after that, Alex had the game. I think he touched the Lysander. I don't recall seeing one in his hand, but there was game number 1. That was pretty crazy. The Klefkis is what makes this matchup so interesting. Alex did have a Garbodor for at least 1 turn, but as soon as Garb came down, Scott did have a Lysander to get a knockout on it. But we'll go to game number 2. And this, like I said, this is a very interesting matchup. Oh man, it's so strange. There's a lot that's happening. Like Link Blast, didn't think I'd ever see it attack. But we saw Link Blast take 2 knockouts this game, which is fantastic. We just gotta hope Scott finds his Spirit Links a little bit quicker because he didn't really find them game number 1. Now I know Spirit Link does make it where Klefki can protect him because he is a Mega now. But I think that's still the correct route. I think you go for the Megas and just try to get as many as you can out. But both players are going to shuffle up. It's best 2 out of 3. And we're going to see what's going to happen. I imagine Scott will opt to go first. Just to set up. Try to get a bunch of Pokemon to play. But then Alex could get the turn 1 Wonder Log and make things very interesting for Scott. But I imagine he's going to save his Klefkis for later on. So both players are going to shuffle up. And let's see what happens in game number 2, guys. Who do you want to win? Do you want to see Mega Gardevoir take a win? Or do you want to see this crazy Vespiquen, Zebstrika, Garbodor take a game instead? Alright, so Blood Brothers are going to shuffle up. Looks like Alex did find a Blitzel and a Combi. And now which one he's going to start with? Let's see, he's going to start with Combi. We see Scott right now does have one Pokemon with a bunch of Ultra Balls in his hand, so he's good to go. He's going to have a crazy turn 1, spend like 30 minutes of playing Pokemon Solitaire. So here we go, game number 2, and Scott unfortunately starts a Shaman, which is okay. Like, you got Skyfield, you have an Ultra Ball, you can discard a Fairy Energy and a, looks like Brox. Oh, a Life Stealer and a Brox, okay. Oh, he's gonna look at, oh man, Scott's cards all beautiful. Like, all those full arts and gold cards and stuff like that. But with the Ultra Ball, probably grab a Hoopa, use Scoundering, search for 2 Guardies and a Shaman most likely. There's a Hoopa, okay. Show me 2 Guardies. Alright, there's 1. And there's number 2. So you can grab both Guardies and a Shaman. And he's going to get set up on this turn 1. He's going to have a phenomenal turn 1. And there we go. Shaman coming down as well. But that will go into his hand instead of on the bench. Of course, he wants to play it down just a little bit. And then play the Shaman setup. Alright. So I'm going to give Scott a good little shuffle. And let's see, what can Scott find? Can he find a Link? We know he has the energy in hand already. So let's see. He's got an energy. He's got a Link. He's got a Skyfield. And a Shaman set up. He has an Ultra Ball in his hand as well. Wow. So Scott's having a crazy turn 1. He has 2 energies and a Fairy Drop. Okay, so you can Ultra Ball this card. Probably double Fairy energies. You could discard a Fairy Drop and a Fairy. But Fairy Drop might seem like very relevant in this matchup for making your opponent not two-shot you. So Ultra Ball, okay. I think I would have held on to this. I think you just pass right now. There's nothing else you really need to dig for. Like, you have a Link, you have energy. Next turn, you Ultra Ball to grab the Hoopa to get everything you want. I think that's the correct play. But we see Ultra Ball discard a Fairy and Buddy Buddy. Probably grab another Hoopa to set up a little more. Maybe a Shaman. But yeah, I think I would have waited and just passed, especially with the second Hoopa being in your deck. Alright, so they're going to grab Shaman instead, okay. So he's going to Shaman set up, but what is he digging for? He's already put it down Link, he's already put it energy. I mean, maybe an Escape Rope, but Escape Rope is not really that good because your opponent can then bring back up one of your bench Pokemon. So, Shaman come down. We'll see a Shaman set up for 6, it looks like. Yeah, Shaman set up for 3 more. So 1, 2, and 3. He does have an N and a Rattata. Alrighty, and let's see. Will Scott just pass? And you'll see a pass on an Alex turn. Alright, so Alex is going to Acrobike. Going to discard the Blitzel. Okay. He's got an Acrobike again. He can discard, a Special Charge. And put down maybe 2 Garbs. Oh, he has a Trubbish in his hand. But Alex has a pretty much dead hand right now. He's got a Teammates, and we're going to see a pass. Now, with the Teammates, it does make where Alex can get any 2 cards out of his deck if his opponent does take a knock on the active. So, see a Link coming down, and will Scott play this in? See, if he had held onto his Ultra Ball, he could just knock out the active instead of playing this in, which looks like he might have to, unless he just wants to wait and see who kind of top decks out of it first. Let's see. We see an N. Yeah, he's going to end. Both players are going to shuffle and get 6 new cards, which is very unfortunate for Scott. Oh, man. Maybe he won't play in. Maybe he's just going to wait it out. Let's see what he decides doing. Yeah, he's going to play in. Both players are going to shuffle up, get 6 new cards. I know Alex is probably, like, really happy right now because his hand was really, I mean, it wasn't, like, terrible. He had Teammates and a Garb and stuff like that. But it'd be kind of hard for him to, I mean, I guess he could, like, knock out the active, then you use Garb, and then you, not Garb, you put down the Garb, Teammates, gain 2 cards out of your deck, and then you pretty much set it from there. So, I guess either way, Alex is actually kind of okay. So, both players are going to set up, get 6 cards, and can Scott find a Mega Guardy and a Escape Rope? And if he does find a Escape Rope, who does Alex send up? Alright, so Scott's got a Trainer's Mail, going to the top cards out of his deck, and will we see an Escape Rope or none? And I do not see one out of those 4 cards, unless I'm blind, which is a very good possibility, but I don't think he drew into one. Let's see here, it looks like he might just grab nothing. Let's Let's see. What was Scott? It looks like Scott is frozen in time right now. Alex is like so fast shuffling his hand right now, and then Scott's just sitting there like, what card do I get? Do I get any cards? Do I just sit here? Oh no. Alright, so will Scott grab a card? Will he not grab a card? And he's gonna look through the discard pile one more time just to see what's all in there. Make sure he's playing the correct. Make sure he makes the correct play. So Lysander going to his hand. Okay. And Scott has a Shaman. He's got an Ultra Ball. He can Ultra Ball discarding the Pokemon he just grabbed. So Ultra Ball, the card he just grabbed, which is Lysander, Fairy Garden. Not Fairy Garden. A Guardy Spearlink. Maybe grabbing a Hoopa. Use the Scondring Search for 2 Guardies and a Shaman. Which is fine. We know the Hoopa's in the deck. He definitely showed it last turn, but he didn't play it. He opted to go for a Shaman instead. So this turn he can go for double Guardy, a Shaman, a double Mega Evolve, and try to hit the Escape Rope to knock out a Pokemon. So 2 Guardies coming down. Okay. Which means he has the last Shaman prize. I know he plays 4 of these guys. There's no way you don't. So yeah, he has no way to treat the Shaman. It's stuck in the active spot. He's already tapped return, so double Guardy's coming down. A Mega Turbo to a bench Guardy. Okay. And we'll see a pass. Oh, there's the 4. Okay, he had the 4 Shaman in his hand. Dusk got find an Escape Rope, and there's a Trainer's Mill. He's going to dig a little bit deeper. Can he find an Escape Rope or not? And I do not see one, unfortunately. Oh no. So Scott has no way to switch out the active. And Alex might be able to knock out the Shaman by using Crashing Bolt, dude. 220 to that poor little Shaman EX. And we'll see a pass on Alex's turn. So Alex is going to play Acrobike, discard the teammates. He has a Garb. He has a Unknown. DC the active. Shaman set it for 3. He just needs to find a Zebstrika, and there it is. There's a Kobe coming down. So let's see a Feral Letter number 1. He's got another Blitzel. Okay. Or no, Zebstrika, sorry. An N. Alright, so both players will show up against 6 new cards. But Alex will take the first knockout on an EX Pokemon with a Crashing Bolt on a Shaman that got stuck in the active spot. Oh man. Alright, so both players are going to shuffle up. And, Alex really is not looking for too much right now. Like, he could put down a Vespiquen. He doesn't have to. But Scott's going to take a knockout. And things are going to start picking up here in a second. Alright, so, let's see what Alex decides to do. He does have Skyfield, so he can put his bench up even more. Maybe put down a Klefki and Wonderlock somebody. That could be really interesting. Let's see what Alex decides to do. He could just like crash. No, sorry. What Scott decides to do here? No, it's Alex. I'm sorry. So Alex is gonna crash a bolt for the knockout, going down to 4. Let's see. Okay, so we see a Trubbish, and then we're gonna see a Forest of Giant Plants coming. Klefki coming down as well, and we're gonna see a knockout. I thought what we were gonna see was Alex put down Pokemon and they put down Forest of Giant Plants to knock out his Shaman. That'd be pretty cool. But on Scott's turn, he's going to put an energy on the Mega Guardy. And can Scott find a license to bring up the Shaman, take a knockout, going down to 4 prize cards as well. But, oh man. No, I think you have to knock out the Zebstrika. If you don't knock out Zebstrika, then Alex can potentially license a Shaman and take another. No, no, you're fine. Because, yeah, don't worry what I'm going to say. So Hex Maniac, okay. And you'll see Despair Ray. Scott's going to discard all his Pokemon, so Alex cannot take a knockout. So that's a great play from Scott for sure. Hex plus knocking everything is pretty strong. Force Giant Plants, Special Charge, Shuffle on DC, back into his deck. And what card will Alex discard? He has a bench of 6 right now. I imagine you just discard the Shaman. Everything else seems pretty much useless. So where Alex discard his Shaman or not, Sycamore discard his hand, draw 70 cards. Alex accidentally has a bench of 6, but I don't think it makes a difference right now. I usually discard the Unknown. Okay, there we go. So he discards the Unknown, whatever. He can't Feral Letter either way because of the hacks, so it doesn't matter too much. We'll see a Vespiquen, DC the active, and we'll see a Beer Venge. Not enough for the knockout. Let's see how much damage doing. 100, just 80, okay. So in his Scott's turn, he draws a card. He does have another Vespiquen for hacks. So you can Fairy Drop, heal 50 off the active. Okay. Alright. You can see a Vespiquen for hacks. And things are going to get very complicated here in a second. Because Scott could take a knockout going on to 4. But then, once again, Alex can't Wonderlock. He can't do anything he wants to. He's got 2 Garbs online, but I imagine you Vespiquen for hacks and just constantly just try to take knockouts under the hacks, which I think is really cool to do. So Scott's going to look through his Scarpel, see what he has. He can do 110, knock out the Vespiquen. He can pretty much knock out anybody without discarding any Pokemon, which is fine. We saw Alex do what? 80 last turn. Then he's going to do 90, so he's going to do 120. So not enough for the knockout steal on this Gardevoir EX. That's the key thing to note here. But it's 4 to 5 on prize cards. We'll see a Vespiquen. Does he go for Hex or not? We'll see Hex, okay. And then we'll see a Despair Ray for the knockout going down to 5 or 4 prize cards. On the Alex turn, he's going to send the Shaman, draw a card. He has a DCE in his hand, so he gets Sky Return. There's a Combi, Vespiquen, and Teammates, gaining 82 cards out of his stack. So looks like he might grab like double Vespiquen. And then maybe Sky Return to a Garbodor. That could be kind of cool. So we see 2 cards coming down. I think it was double Vespiquen. And then, yeah, what I said is Alex can Sky Return, send in a Garb, let it get knocked out, and then still not have enough to knock out the Guardian, unfortunately. Oh, no, that's not good. But we'll see what Alex decides to do. There's a DC to the active. And like I said, the only thing I can think to is Sky Return to Garb. Yep, alright. So in Scott's turn, I'm going to draw a card. And let's see what is going to happen. Alex took the only EX off his field by Sky Returning and making this a very awkward situation. Now, Scott does have another Vespiquen in his hand. I think he has another Vespiquen in his hand. I see an Energy. I see... maybe it's not a Vespiquen. Maybe it's a Mega Turbo. Not exactly sure. I can't see his hand all the way 100%. But Scott's going to look to discard pile, see what's all in there, and going to make a decision. Now, Scott has to knock out 4 Pokemon before Alex can knock out 2, which is going to be very, very rough to do, especially when Alex just keeps swinging with the Be Revenge, doing a ton of damage to the active. We see a Ultra Ball, going to discard 2 cards from his hand. Discards a Guardy and a Fairy Energy, and let's see what he decides to get here. Discarding the Guardy is very interesting, because I think you want to keep that in your deck. So you can have another Guardy down. I could be wrong, but I think that's what you want to do. But this is Dragonite, so you can't pull up gaining 2 cards out of just Scarpel. But you gotta be worried about Lysander. If your opponent can Lysander Pokemon, you can put yourself in a really interesting knockout situation. Scott does have a Vespiquen for sure. I saw it in his hand, so I know he has a Vespiquen. But we'll see you pull up. Grabbing double Shaman. Okay. We'll see a Shaman set for 2. So there's 1 and no, just 1. Sorry. Okay. We see another Shaman for 1. Okay. And let's see. He has double Vespiquen in his hand, so he can Vespiquen for Hex, take a knockout, Vespiquen for Hex again, take another knockout, and then Alex can then knock out his Guardy finally. But you'll knock out so many Pokemon that you might put yourself in a good situation. So let's see what this guy decides to do here. Does he go for Hex? Does he go for N? Does he go for a Lysander Resistance to Scarpel? We'll see here just a second. There's an Escape Rope. Okay. Alex is going to bring up the other Garb. And then Scott's going to bring up this fresh new Gardevoir. And do we see Vespiquen for Hex or not? Alright. Does he go for Hex or something else? Vespiquen for a Lysander, bringing up a Combi, and he's going to break the Hex lock. Oh no, this is not good, because now Alex has the ability to use the Wonder Lock. Alright, so we see a Vespiquen in his hand. I don't see a DC as of right now, but he has a Vespiquen, which can grab Teammates and get 82 cards out of his deck. Alright, so let's see, there's another Coffee coming out as well. Vespiquen, DCE, Vespiquen, or Sycamore, going to discard his hand, drawing 7 new cards. Can Alex do enough damage to knock out the active? I think he's doing 130 plus the 3. 160 maybe? He has some Ultra Balls. There's a Wonder Lock to the active. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think like 9 maybe. I don't think it's enough for a knockout. It'd be pretty crazy to discard to have a 19 Pokemon discard pile. But what we see right now is a Klefki being put on the Garbodor. Oh my goodness, this is such an amazing play right now. And the Klefki on the Garbodor and Klefki on the active makes it where your opponent can't use Rattata. They can't use their abilities. They can't even knock out either Garb because it has a Klefki on it and it is Wonderlock. Alright, so Trainer's Mail. Scott's one of the top 4 cards of his deck. Oh my goodness, a double Wonderlock. Like, that's probably the worst thing that Scott could see. After not playing a Hex, he gets double Wonderlock to get protect both of his guys. Oh my goodness. Alright. So, Scott's playing Trainer's Mail. Gonna grab a Super Rod, can shuffle 3 Pokemon back to his deck. But, I mean, if Alex could double Wonderlock again next turn, he pretty much just like seals this game up, I imagine. Because right now he's doing 12, 13, 14. With both these Klefkis knocked out. Or he's doing 12, 13. He's doing 160 right now. With both Klefkis gets knocked out, he does 180. And then if he does it again, he can do 200. And then he can discard one Pokemon to knock out a Gardevoir. So, yeah, I mean, the little Klefkis that could. Basically, that's what's happening right now. But we see Alex has a Super Rod. I see double Ultra Ball. So next turn he could go for the double Klefki lock again. Unless Scott can end his hand down. Oh my goodness. Will we see a back-to-back double Klefki lock? I can't wait to see if that's going to happen or not. So Scott's going to look through there. He has a Vespiquen. So Vespiquen for Lysander. Bring up the Garbodor. And he's going to take a knockout going out of 2 prize cards. But I imagine Alex is going to go for this double Wonderlock play. And now more Pokemon are in the discard pool for Alex. So we see Unknown, Feral Letter. There's Klefki number 1. We'll see Super Rod, shelf back in. Double Klefki. And a Kobe, okay. Oh my goodness. So once again, a double Wonderlock is going to happen. It's going to protect his Vespiquen and protect his Garbodor. Which Scott cannot knock out either one because the Klefki will protect him. And Scott won't be able to use Rattata because Garbodor's in play, shutting down abilities. So see Klefki number 2. He already acrobated into one of them. So yeah, if you're Scott, you're kind of in trouble right now. I don't know how much damage is being done right now. Like it's a lot, especially with the Garb being knocked out last turn. Like it's a +2. So Klefki, double Wonderlock again. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, you have to double Wonderlock here. If you don't, then Scott can play like Rattata and all that cute stuff. We also see double Wonderlock, be revenged for the knockout, going down to 2 prize cards. And what can Scott do? His opponent just double Wonderlock. Oh man. Alright, so let's see what does Scott have here. He has a Sycamore, I saw a Mega Turbo, a Switch, but I do not see another Pokemon in his hand. And I don't see an N as well as of right now. If he doesn't find an N, he's in trouble. So Rattata coming down, which does not work because of the double Wonderlock. We see switch into the Rattata. Okay. And we're going to see a... Oh, man, I don't even know what this attack does. I know the Raticate does Smash. But I don't know what the Rattata does. Oh, man, that's a funny thing. That, I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Rattata. I think either way it's irrelevant. As long as Alex can find a Lysander, he can bring up the guard, he take a knock on it pretty easily. He's doing like over, I think he's doing like 200 or like a little bit less than 200. There's a Fairy Drop, okay. But Alex has an Ultra Ball, can discard Vespiquen and some other stuff. So both Klefkis, there's a Lysander. Okay, time to figure out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and discarding both these Pokemon will be enough for the knockout, and Alex will take the game with the double Klefki Wonderlock. That is crazy. Oh my goodness, guys, this was a crazy game with a double Klefki Wonderlock. That is insane. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I guess Vespiquen can pretty easily take the game against Mega Guardy. It's a very interesting matchup, and I'm glad we got to see it on camera. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. There's one more rounds left. This is round number 5, so one more round left in the tournament, and we're going to see what's going to happen, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty, bye. Alright, guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.